What's up, dudes? Eli here, back for a collection or a new stuff video, I guess I call it. As I've said previously, I'm kind of spending far less money buying, way less things right now. But it happens. Things do kind of accumulate. Over the weekend, I've been playing, as you can see, Condemned Criminal Origins on the Xbox 360. Came out in 2005. Excellent, excellent, excellent game. Kind of classic of the genre and of that particular system, I'd say. Don't have the case to show you because I only have the disc, but excellent game. I've been really enjoying kind of replaying through it. But anyways, we'll get on with the loot here. This is mostly horror movies, actually. I've been kind of I never got out of watching horror movies, obviously, but I've been really enjoying collecting more lately and just watching a lot of horror movies. I kind of go through phases with movies. I won't watch many for a while, and then I'll kind of jump back into it. I never get out of it for very long. But there's a little bit of music here as well, and we'll just start with that. I showed this CD version not too long ago, actually, but now here we have the tape. Belgian black metal, Goat Holocaust. I don't know how to pronounce this. Satan, Jugend, I don't know. Anyways, this came out on Von Frost Records. This is one of the earlier releases of Von Frost put out. Von Frost was a label, still going actually, awesome label out of Canada. Yeah. It actually, funny story, not funny, but cool story. Von Frost started off as a blog back when I was doing my blogging, and so I've been following him since the beginning. It was really cool to see him. The guy's name is John. It was really cool to see him, start a label out of his blog. It was pretty fucking cool. So yeah, Goat Holocaust, just good blasting, blasphemous black metal. I don't really have much else to say of any worth other than I really like the album. I have it on CD and now cassette. It's really good, and I definitely recommend it. Nero One Records actually put it out on vinyl a couple years back. So if you want a vinyl copy, you can get it from them too. Definitely check that out for like $15 too. Cheap. Next, the only other metal release I have to show for now came out originally on Holy Records. I can't remember, early 2000s. I don't see a date here. I've never owned this physically until just recently. We got the first debut album. That's what a debut is. It's a first. Anyways, debut album from Finland's Gloomy Grim with Blood, Monsters, and Darkness. Like I said, Holy Records, which was an old label out of France. Always thought it was a cool label. Maybe we'll get a date here on the back. Nope. That was the slipcase, obviously. This is the CD. I always think that's cool when the CD or movie or whatever has a different case or a different cover than the slipcase. I show the back. So Gloomy Grim is a band. This came out in '98. This is '98, maybe '98. I don't know. So this was kind of the brainchild of a dude. What was the guy's name? Used to be, maybe still is actually, in Barthroom. A nice booklet, by the way. Lots of cool photos. Yeah, maybe still is in Barthroom. Is or was in Barthroom. Agathon, yeah. This was kind of the brainchild of him, at least from what I remember. Now, I really like Gloomy Grim. This album especially. It's kind of its own take on like symphonic black metal. A lot of people would probably call it campy or cheesy or whatever, and I wouldn't disagree with that. But if you like symphonic black metal, I feel like you're kind of okay with a little bit of that. So this isn't quite, this is not so reminiscent of, say, Emperor or Dimmu Borgir or even Cradle of Filth. It's kind of its own brand of symphonic black metal, I'd say. So definitely worth a listen. You got to be open to, you know, the more symphonic stuff. If you're more of a purist, I think there's stuff on here you could dig into, but I think that you would overall not be super into it. But I definitely recommend it, and I'm really glad to finally own it. That's all we have for the music. We'll get into the movies. I got 3 here. I've only watched so far 1, but I do have things to say about the other 2 for the most part. So this one, man, the only one I've watched so far, but goddamn, I really fucking enjoyed it. Bought it last night, and I'm already just this huge fan, and I'm it's awesome. This came out last year. Actually, no. I think it was recorded last year. I don't think it actually came out until this year, not that long ago, actually, if I remember correctly. I had seen this in a local store, and obviously, you know, I only looked at it for a couple seconds. I was like, yeah, that definitely looks like some kind of retro horror. I'm moving on. There's a lot of that shit out there. But we'll get back to why I bought it. But why what changed my mind. But we have here Psycho Goreman. Take a look at that. Very, very, very cool cover. This is a slipcase. There's the back. And we'll take the slipcase off. They gave it one of the cool reversible covers. Obviously, that slipcase cover is the original cover of the DVD case itself. But I flipped it around and went for this more art print looking cover, as I usually do. I thought that was cool. And yeah, this is crazy. It's got this. I didn't know what to think about this at all. I've never seen a new movie come with a booklet of merchandise. I mean, anything from action figures to toothbrushes to like beach balls and t-shirts. Crazy. This movie seems to be already, almost instantly, taking on like a cult classic status. When I decided that I want to get this movie, I went back to that same store that I saw it at, and it was sold out. I went to Walmart because it's one of the only other stores we have that sells DVDs. They were stocking it because we have a couple Walmarts like fucking every town, and one of them actually stocks a decent selection of movies, horror movies even. It's pretty cool. So they were stocking it, and it was completely sold out. I've never, and I don't want to say never, but I don't see this kind of shit very often. And I was just kind of going out of my mind, like I want it right now. I think it's on Shudder, but I don't know. I'm still kind of old school like that. So I ordered it through the other store, and they ended up getting it like 2 days later, just in time for me to watch it this weekend. Awesome. So back to what changed my mind. Back to to what made me go whatever. To I gotta have this. It was actually Josh Armijo was talking about it. He made a post about it on Instagram and talking about how he bought it and loved it, and I was like, okay. I started looking more into it. I'm like, I gotta see this. I gotta have it. And anyways, like I said, I watched it. I absolutely loved it. I don't know what the budget for this movie is. I'm assuming fairly low. It's non-theatrical release. They just did a really, really good job with this. With whatever budget, like I said, probably a fairly low budget. But they just did great with it. I mean, there's a lot of great practical effects. I'm trying to think back. I think most of this movie's practical effects. When it does show some more fantastical, scenes of like space battles and stuff like that, that's done with some of it with like stop motion and even like claymation and stuff. It was really awesome. Definite, very cool blast to the past. Costumes and stuff very much reminded me of Power Rangers, which I was never a big fan of. I always thought that show sucked. It came out when I was a little kid and I never liked it. But maybe I did like in the first year that it came out. So this did kind of remind me of like a violent, gory Power Rangers, which was cool because I think that's what I didn't like about that show. Even when I was like a little kid, I'm like, where's this? The fucking action scenes were weak as hell. And yeah, so this is like, if you wanted Power Rangers to be an actual show with, conflict and violence and stuff, that's kind of in a way what you get here, but you're also getting elements of like maybe E.T. or other 80s and 90s classics, whatever comes to mind. So it's basically about this this brother and sister who find this ancient amulet thing, which is basically like this device that holds this ancient warrior captive. It's from a galaxy, millions of years ago in a galaxy far, far away, and they end up finding this thing and releasing this dude right here, and then the plot unfolds from there. And maybe not the most original plot, but it was never supposed to be. The fact is, I thought this movie was awesome. I can't wait to see. I hope, and there's got with it. It seems to be pretty successful to me. So I mean, there's got to be a sequel. I just think it would be insane for there not to be a sequel. So I'm really looking forward to what comes out. What we get in the future. So, and hopefully not too distant future. And I would imagine, I would imagine, it being as successful as it seems to be, that the crew responsible for making this are acting on that. If they're not already working on a sequel, that's mind blowing. So definitely check it out. If you've already checked it out, let me know what you think. Everything has its detractors, and I'm okay with that. If you don't like it, let me know. That's cool. We'll have some discourse. One of the other movies I bought, saw this in one of my local stores. I was unsure if I was going to get it. I've always wanted to get this original. This is a remake, by the way. I've always wanted to get the original. I don't have it. I have seen it. So I'm talking about the new, I'll just going to call it a remake of Castle Freak. So Castle Freak is, originally it was a movie, I think it came out in 95. Stuart Gordon, who we know from many classics, especially known for like Reanimator and From Beyond. Jeffrey Combs was in the movie, of course. And it was a pretty good movie. I like it. It's derived from one of H.P. Lovecraft's short stories called The Outsider, which is a great short story. Probably one of my favorite of Lovecraft's. Sort of loosely, more than loosely based, but not completely true to the story, as most movies aren't. Great story. And the 95 version is a good movie, definitely. I haven't seen it in a long time. I don't own a copy. I've always wanted one. But I've always loved it. I've always been a huge Lovecraft fan. So when I saw this, and I'm not opposed, if you've paid close attention to me, talking about movies and stuff, I'm not opposed to remakes. There have been a few times where I think the remake is as good as the original. Very, very few times where I think it's better, but I'm not opposed to it. If a remake comes out, and it sucks, it does not tarnish the original. It has nothing to do with the legacy of the original. 99% of the time, it's done by different people. If it were done by the same people, that would be one thing, but it's not. It's done by usually decades later, done by completely different people. It has nothing to do. People that act like a remake, infringes on the original or hurts it. That's just simply not true. So, anyways, Castle Freak. It's basically about people who inherit a castle. Original was in Italy. I think this one's set in Albania. But then, anyways, they inherit a castle, which who wouldn't want to do that? So they go to check it out. I don't want to give any spoilers. I mean, I think it's fairly cut and dry that there's a monster that lives in that castle, and that's pretty much all I'll say. I find the Lovecraft story is much more introspective and a lot more thought provoking and stuff like that. But whatever, it's still a premise for a fucking cool movie, and I've read very very mixed things, mostly bad reviews. But dude, I mean, every just about every remake automatically gets bad reviews from 99% of all people. So I'm not taking all those to heart. I'm still gonna watch it. Of course, I bought the fucker. Interesting fact: one of the characters from the original movie directed this, or did she produce it? Let me get that for you. So Fangoria's got a hand in this. Where are we here? What's her name, by the way? I'm sorry. I did kind of do a little preparation, but I don't remember everything. Oh, Barbara Crampton. Okay, yeah, produced by Barbara Crampton. And I thought she had more to do with it than just producing it, but I could be wrong. But anyways, Barbara, yeah, like I said, she was one of the characters in the original, and she's awesome. Wasn't she? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she wasn't in the original, but she was in. She was in From Beyond, I think. Anyways, take all this how you will. I think there's some facts in what I'm saying, and maybe a little bit lost in translation. But I'm really excited to watch it. It says right here also from the producers of Bone Tomahawk, which I was a big fan of. Anyways, I don't know what's up with that. But yeah, stoked to watch it. Anyone seen this, by the way? What do you think? Don't be afraid to tell me it sucked. Don't spoil it for me, because from what I understand, there are some. It's a reimagination, also, not just a remake. So there are some differences. It's not a direct remake from the original. It's very, very similar premise, but there are some differences, and I'm stoked for that. Last but not least, this was just a total random buy. I've been kind of getting into these, and apparently now I'm collecting them. Shudder original movies. This one caught my eye. We have Terrified. This one's a couple years old. This is from 2018. Also says 2020, so I don't know. Maybe it came out in 2018 and was put on DVD in 2020. Do with that what you will. This is a not an American movie, so that's cool. I'm always down for. I'm always watching horror movies recorded in any country. I love it all. So this is recorded in Buenos Aires, Argentina. So I'm actually trying to think of just off the cuff if I've seen any Argentinian movies. I don't know, to be honest. None come to mind. I've probably seen one though. So yeah, this is a possession based movie, and I'm kind of a sucker for those. Yeah, they're way fucking played out, but I don't think this is your typical Exorcist, copycat. There's the back. Did I show that? I have read. I browsed through some reviews online, of course, your typical Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb, and I saw some pretty solid reviews for this. So, yeah, definitely stoked to watch that as well. I have way less info on it than I do the previous two movies, so I apologize, but if you're used to watching my movies, you know that I'm not afraid to just show something that I know nothing about, because that's just what I do. I don't just strictly do reviews. In fact, I mostly don't review things. That's not what this channel is based on. I have gotten some criticism before for showing things that that I own and I haven't heard, but it's not what it's all about for me. I don't usually have things too well planned for this channel, but I kind of do in this case. One of my next videos is most likely going to be, I'm going to be doing a showcase, a label showcase, or label showcase spotlight, whatever I call it. I'm going to be talking about Hoof Child Records, which is a label that I've just gotten familiar with in the last couple weeks. These two CDs are the ones I'll be reviewing. By Fire and the Sword, band out of my state, Idaho, and then a band called Cherokee. Once again, I've said this many times, but yeah, these were sent to me by Brian Arkham. Again, I know you're probably tired of hearing it, but thank you. I very much appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the coffee I sent. I think that's safe to say you probably did. So yeah, I'll be doing that, and then I'll be doing another video, getting back to that series that I started a while back and haven't really done much with, where I talk about albums that I didn't didn't quite like at first. Maybe I didn't hate them, but I didn't. I wasn't super into them, and then after however many listens, now I'm a big fan. I seem to be doing those in threes. I'm not really sure why that is. So I've already picked 3 albums for for that video. I just of course I want to listen to them all 3 maybe at least once through. Just I probably haven't heard any of them in a while, so try to get them fresh in my mind. And also I'm going to want to give these 2 3-4 listens at least to get these fresh in my mind. So that's what you can expect out of me in the next couple weeks. That and maybe some more. Probably get back into my CD collection. It's been a while since I've done a CD collection video, but I'm still unpacking. That's the problem. Is I probably would have cranked more of those out because I really do. I probably enjoy doing those the most out of all the things that I do on this channel. But yeah, still unpacking. I'll probably be unpacking until the next time I move, which will be in about 8 months because I moved into this apartment 3 going on 4 months ago, and I'm probably not going to renew the lease when it's up. So you know how that shit goes. And I'm also probably going to get back into my heavy metal T-shirt collection videos. I know those aren't super popular, but a couple of you guys enjoy them, and I enjoy them. So that's all that really matters. I've never, as I've said many times, and as is very obvious, I've never been about just doing what's popular or what gets me the most views. It's not about that. So it's just about my discourse with you guys, and I'm trying to keep that going. I've gotten to know a number of people just from doing these videos that that have become a part of my life, and it's fucking awesome because I wouldn't have known you guys otherwise. We just would have never even crossed paths. So I criticize the technology and the internet, social media. I criticize all that shit a lot, but of course, those are all good resources in their own right. So, anyways, Louis says hello. He's taking a nap behind me. He opened his eyes. I woke him up. Thanks for stopping by, and we will talk soon. Cheers, guys.